selfish scouting from the city of Joy, but it's specifically prepared towards your good. And to that end, we want to especially welcome our guest, Joel Harper. This is always an equal recipient. And he will be speaking to us as our speaker on the program. And the rest of the program will follow it as it's outlined in the brochure. Before we begin, we'd like to welcome, or not welcome, but well, I think we do that too. But particularly, we want to recognize those who have made this evening possible. And one of them is back with Miss Pratt with the camera. She's just a very active person when it comes to making this true function. Also, Miss Rose, who isn't here. I don't know why. Sorry. Pat Rose, who is an executive secretary. That means an action person. And believe me, every time I come here and every time I leave, she's back in the same spot. She keeps records for Gene. She keeps up on all the data that he has to have available in order to make the decisions that he makes with this many boys in the troop. And we want to welcome also Janice Carpenter. She's a new member on our committee, and Betty Paladores. And they're two people who are assisting on our committee and have made this evening possible as well as some of the other activities we have coming up. We'll now begin our program by turning the time over to our senior patrol leader.
I'm assuming I had no
Former
idea
senior patrol leader. Just
as soon as he comes off, I'll ask.
and since we have some experience in this relationship.
First pick will be Joel Harper. Eagle City.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney, for that fine introduction. Briggs asked me to speak a little while on my experiences as a Boy Scout. I joined Boy Scouts on my 11th birthday. That was August 11th, 1973. I received my Eagle Scout Award 1 week shy of my 15th birthday, 1977. I was never in Cub Scouts. My folks didn't sign me up. I don't know why. They signed up for Boy Scouts. So I don't know the experience of Cub Scouts, so I will speak to the Boy Scouts and to the Cub Scouts knowing that one day you'll be wearing green instead of blue. I'm thinking about the things that I learned as a scout, and what could I tell scouts and parents of scouts? What does scouting mean to me? How did I benefit from scouting? And I thought of about 5 different areas that scouting has helped me today as a 25-year-old contributor to society. One benefit I gained from scouting was endurance. In scouting, I earned 33 merit badges. And this is my sash. My mom sewed those on for me. 24 of these merit badges went for my Eagle. I earned 5 more beyond that, got a bronze palm. And I earned 4 more towards my gold palm. I was 1 merit badge shy. This is my certificate for my rolling merit badge. It has 8 requirements. I passed off 7. The one requirement I didn't pass was learn to recognize the 3 different types of rowboats. I never bothered to do that, so I didn't endure as I should. I never got my gold palm because I was too lazy to learn the difference between 3 types of rowboats. It took me 4 years to get my Eagle Scout award. That is endurance in itself. Any type of endeavor that takes 4 years and you accomplish it is a remarkable achievement, especially being a young teenager. Young teenagers aren't known for their endurance. This implies acknowledgement to my mother, who earned that Eagle badge with me. Very few teenagers have what it takes to earn Eagle Scout all by themselves. They don't have the dedication or the stick-to-itiveness to earn an Eagle. I did not, but my mom did. She had the drive to make me earn that Eagle Award. She took me, drove me where I needed to go, gave me the motivation I needed and the encouragement I needed to get that Eagle Award. Whenever I was sick and tired of doing it, she would prod me along. The Boy Scout Association of America recognizes the impact of moms on Eagle Scouts. And that's why in an Eagle ceremony, the mother gets a pin, or the scout getting a 50 little badge. My mom earned that Eagle Scout award with me for 3.5 of my 4 years. She was right there along with me. As I got to my 15th birthday, I had outgrown my mom. I was physically bigger than her, and my attitude had gotten bigger than her. And got my life award and been sitting as a life about 8 months. And my mom came into my room and said, you got to get going on this Eagle. If you don't get it quick, once you get involved with cars and girls, you're never going to get it. And I said, right, Mom. And ignored her. At that point, for some reason, my dad decided to get involved in my scouting process. I hadn't heard one word from him since I was 11 years old about Boy Scouts, after complaining about the initiation fee he had to pay. Never heard from him again until that day when he marched into my room, picked me up, and told me to earn that Eagle Award by my 15th birthday or suffer his consequences. And 1 week shy of my 15th birthday, I got my Eagle Award. So endurance. I encourage all parents of scouts not to leave scouting to the scoutmasters. Get involved in this process of scouting. I developed a relationship with my mom and with my dad that I don't think I would have developed had my mom and dad not driven me to scout meetings, driven me to merit badge counselors, driven me here and there, talked with me about it throughout the process, asked me how I was doing, came to the award ceremonies and took me out for ice cream afterwards and some congratulations. Those little things added up, and I always appreciated that. Leadership, I guess, was another area of endurance I learned to develop. Any senior patrol leader over a group of guys like this knows what a pain it is to lead a bunch of teenagers like yourself. Part of the Scouting requirements are to serve as leadership in leadership positions. I was in a big troop, and there weren't enough big leadership like patrol leader positions to go around. My first position, therefore, was librarian. And I got this nifty patch to be librarian. I did nothing as a librarian. We had no library. I didn't know what a librarian did. But I had this patch. I wore it on my sleeve, and my mom says, well, what's your leadership going to be for, to earn this award? Well, I'm a librarian, Mom. And somehow she figured out I didn't do anything about librarian, so I was called in and given another responsibility, quartermaster. I did absolutely nothing as quartermaster. I had no idea what a quartermaster did. I didn't do anything, but I wore this patch. Mom said, what are you doing as quartermaster? I said, well, yeah, I make sure everybody has their equipment and stuff like that. Well, she caught on to that pretty quick and made another phone call to the scoutmaster. Next thing I knew, I was senior patrol leader. And then I finally did stuff, made phone calls and planned activities, and learned about responsibility and leadership. I always appreciated my mom for that. 1 out of 100 Boy Scouts, I was told, gets their Eagle Award. 1 out of 100 Boy Scouts have parents who are interested enough in their sons to make sure they get that Eagle Award. Camaraderie was another benefit I got from Boy Scouts. Through scouting activities, a bonding occurred between me and my fellow scouts. And it began on my very first camp out, where the veteran scouts took us rookies out on the famous snipe hunt, where we were told we were to catch the elusive snipe. About 4 in the morning, they got us all up and right outside of our sleeping bags, which we'd been asleep for about an hour, and took us out in the woods and got all us rookie scouts to hold this bag. And they said, we're going to go out in the woods and find a snipe they feed this time of night. We're going to run them to the bag. And when you hear the snipe hit the bag, you close up the bag, and we'll take it back to the camp and show everybody the snipe that you have caught on your first camping trip. So we rookie scouts sit there holding this bag, and about 10 minutes, actually it's probably like 30 minutes, they left us out there for a long time. Finally, this group of veteran scouts comes hauling through the woods, screaming to wake up the dead, ah! Chasing this snipe. And we stand there holding this bag, and all of a sudden you hear a bang hit the bag. We shut the bag. We run back to scout camp. Wake up our scoutmasters. We caught a snipe. We caught a snipe. So they all gather around the fire, and we dump out the bag, and this rock falls out. And I was smart enough to know that's not a snipe, that's a rock. But one of the veteran scouts yells, "Hey, that's a petrified snipe egg." And a few of the rookies go, "Oh wow, we caught a petrified snipe egg." So when daybreak broke, they run down to the nature trail and showed the guy at the nature trail this petrified snipe egg. And a few minutes later, they came back with more egg on their face. But that incident bonded us rookie scouts together. From then on, it was us against the veterans. And after a while, we all became good friends until the more rookie scouts came in. And then it was our turn to take them on the snipe hunt and leave them in that woods at 3 a.m. for about 30 minutes and then throw a rock in their bag. Doing the mile swim at scout camp was another event which led to group camaraderie, with the scoutmaster in the rowboat going, "Ah, ha, 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 ha. Keep swimming." He's about 5 feet in front of us. The faster we swim, the faster he rowed. None of us ever drowned, but at the end of that mile, we appreciated each other. We didn't really quite appreciate the scoutmaster then as we did much later. I think the scoutmaster's way of getting back scouts for all the pain that scouts caused scoutmasters in the mile swim. I think we rode about 3 miles, to be honest with you. The scoutmaster won't admit to it. Here's some of the patches I got from all these fun camping trips. They're kind of cute. This is my favorite, the North Carolina Wildlife Hunter Safety Graduate, which I got on one of my camp outs. We had to take this shooting course and pass a test. To get a 70 to pass, I got a 71. So I'm a safety graduate, but I wouldn't recommend going hunting with me. The only time I ever did go hunting was with my dad, and we didn't see anything all day. Being the pesky 13-year-old, I wanted to shoot something. So finally he said, "Well, there's a bird up in the tree, shoot it." And I looked up and it was red, and it was a cardinal. I know cardinal's a state bird. No, you're not allowed to shoot a cardinal. I said, "Dad, you're not allowed to shoot a cardinal." He said, "Shoot it." So I take my shotgun, and knowing the wisdom of my dad, I didn't know this at the time. I aimed at that bird and pulled the trigger, and this tree branch just exploded in front of me, and burnt chips and bark went everywhere, and this cute little cardinal just flies away. My dad was probably a lot smarter than I was. He knew I got 71 on that hunting course and knew that bird was in no danger. We got back to the car and told me to break the gun and get the other shell out, and I wanted to shoot it. One shot. He said, "All right, you shoot it up in the air." So being Mr. Macho Clint Eastwood, I decided to shoot from the hip. Put that thing on my hip and pulled that shotgun, and I went flying back about 15 feet, lived home. Camaraderie is a good benefit from Boy Scouts. I come from a family of all sisters, and I really appreciated the fact that I had a chance to go out with the guys. Learning so